So this customer came in here and he said there must be a rusted out line underneath this vehicle. It's modded. It's got a billet high pressure fuel pump. It's got silver bullet lines. It's got boom blow off valve. It's got a live wire tune. It's got a gauge right there in the corner of the dash and stuff that's fed by the fuelet. And basically what ended up happening is whoever installed this never got the clamps tight enough on this little rubber piece. And it clips into this line here. And then the other side has the rubber piece on it that goes down there. And the more I think about it, I could tighten the hell out of that and probably make it stay on there, but I don't want to be liable for this thing coming off and then causing a fire. Fuel leaks are terrible, and it would be on my conscience, so I'm actually going to go try to get the right stuff that the company didn't send with this kit to actually make this work properly, and maybe they could turn it into a kit in the future. I mean, it's all I can think of, but let's make this work the right way. So I'm going to run down here to the parts store real quick in the DIY section, and I want to take you guys with me. So a lot of you guys have been experiencing the 5-liter 2018 to 2020 oil consumption issues. And running something like I'm not a huge fan of stabilizers in general, but I will talk in presence of like the Lucas full synthetic oil stabilizer. Running something like that might benefit to slow down some of that oil consumption, but also running that Restore engine compression, engine revitalizer, and the silver can with the black label could also help reduce some of that oil consumption as well. So that might be a thought to make up for some of that. The sentiment is the way the cylinder liners are actually lined from the factory in the 2018 to 2020 model. I think they call it an arc lined cylinder, and the previous models didn't have the oil consumption, and then after 2020 they didn't have the oil consumption problems. So the only common denominator a lot of guys are saying is the fact that they changed the way the cylinder walls were lined from 2018 to 2020, and that is probably the main issue why the oil consumption is going on. I got to thinking about it, and I wish I had a customer's vehicle that I could try this on that was out of warranty that would allow me to do this experiment. But I would think something like a full synthetic Lucas, which is more equivalent to, I think, like a 40 weight oil mixed in with your 5W20 or 5W30, whatever you run, would be fine. And or like a BG MOA product would also help some. But I think that silver can with the black label from Restore might actually be one of the best bets for trying to reduce some of that oil consumption as well. So just throwing that out there as a lifeline to people that are out of warranty that cannot afford to have a new engine installed. Maybe this may work for you. Maybe you can give me some feedback on your 5-liter F-150 by running the Restore product or some MOA or Lucas full synthetic additive in there. That in a situation like this, I think those products would be very good considering the circumstances. So if somebody could try that and give me some feedback on whether or not it works or slows it down, I would absolutely love to hear back from you guys. I'm really thinking strongly about the Restore product, the silver can with the black label that supposed to revitalize like cylinder scores and scratches and things like that. And it's an additive that kind of fills in those areas and supposed to smooth and increase compression and stuff by trying to mask over cylinder wear. So if somebody's willing to try that and give me some feedback on that, and you want to email me or something letting me know your results, I would absolutely love to hear back from you guys. So just throwing that out there. Let me know if one of you are willing to try and give me the feedback on it. Thank you. Be blessed. Alright, just pulled up to AutoZone. My boss was nice enough to let me go up here and see if I can find the right stuff that I need to make this aftermarket ethanol sensor work on this gentleman's vehicle. Here's what we ended up with. I got a Dorman Quick Connect for a Ford. It's a 800-055. I got 2 of them, and they have the proper fitting on the end of it with the hardware in the bottom. And then I got these newer upgraded Dorman 5/16 fuel Quick Connects, And they actually have an upgraded O-ring in the center instead of the old cheap ones that they used to have, and they're pretty robust. And I think this is going to be better than what's on there with just a piece of rubber and some clamps. This is going to be far superior, so we're going to give this a shot. I did not want this. I actually wanted another set of these barbs on these lines, and I was going to heat up the line and install it, but I don't have the sizing tool to actually do it the proper way. I know you can, a lot of people say you can heat them up with water and use a heat gun and everything else and then re-shrink them. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to cut the section to length on both sides, and then I'm actually going to install the nylon fuel line press fit unions, and we're going to give that a shot. So this is what I have on the sending unit so far, the ethanol sensor unit so far. Is I had to put a zip tie through there because you can see that little faint crack right out of the box. There's somebody been messing with it. So what I did is I ran a zip tie around it to pull the ends in and lock it in even tighter. You can see down in there it's really locked in around that flange. And then I took my plastic edge on my Power Probe Pro Solder 50, or it's the edge I use for plastic, and I cut the sharp edge off so it would not cut his hand, and I left it just a tad bit loose, so if you ever wanted to pull it out of there, you can pull it out of there. I don't have a new plastic clip for it, so that's why I did it. Now I'm going to go ahead and get this in and get it mocked up and get the other end set. This is what I came up with for this part, upgrading this ethanol sensor. It's going to work better than what they send you from the factory, so we'll see what happens. Alright, so this is what I got. It's nice and dressed up inside there. You see the white connector there, white connector up here. Got a connector for it tied in right there. Got it tied to the harness up here. Get this pulled back and more relaxed. Let's see what we got. So this hose that I made versus the little piece of rubber they give that under boost blows off. This thing here. It'd be nice to have that as an upgrade kit, like an extra 30 bucks just added onto it for the upgrade instead of just this little piece of hose. It's running. No leaks, no nothing going on. But those new Dorman fittings now, they go way over it and then they shark teeth back into it. And then it's got the upgraded green O-ring instead of the old black O-ring, which the black one wasn't bad. The green one, I guess they say, is a better material and it can take higher pressure. So let's go drive it now. I just got back from my run. Everything looks good, no leaks, no nothing. Everything's dressed up. Everything holding. I probably got up to about 10-12 pounds of boost. Got into it a few times just to make sure and then drove normal. Running great. So I hope the customer likes the upgrade to what fuel it sent. And nothing's touching the valve cover. All the wires pulled away. Fastened the connector up here. Rerouted the JLT line so it wasn't pulling down on all the wires and stuff. And pulled this up over here so nothing's like bouncing around inside here. So that's the upgrade to the fuel ethanol sensor. As always, thanks for watching. Be blessed.